At the beginning of the film, you can see a very beautiful view of the Amazon forest. After seeing the forest scene, we move to a reporter reporting news in New York City. In the news, he conveyed about the disappearance of 4 documentary film crew. They went to the Amazon jungle to document the lives of the cannibal tribes there. They include Alan Yates, who is the director, his girlfriend Faye Daniels, who is the scriptwriter, and 2 cameramen named Mark Tomaso and Jack Anders. Before disappearing, they were last seen on the border of Peru and Brazil. At that time, they will travel to a place called Rio Ocoro. After arriving at that place, they will walk into the Amazon forest. Unfortunately, that was the last news from them, and it is now unknown whether they are alive or dead. To find out what happened, a professor named Harold Monroe was sent there. He is an anthropologist from New York University, who often goes on expeditions to primitive areas. But this time he is going to the Amazon jungle, and that will be a challenge for Monroe. Long story short, Monroe arrived in the forest and met an army leader. Monroe was introduced by his guides named Keiko and Meeg. They will help Monroe find the whereabouts of the 4 film crew. Apart from Kago and Meeg, they were also helped by a man from the tribe named Yakumo. After going quite far into the forest, they found traces of firewood from the Yakumo tribe. They then followed the trail left by the tribe, and found a human skull that had been there for a long time. Keiko then checked the skull's teeth, and said that the skull was his friend, Felipe Ocaña. Ocaña is also a guide, who previously guided the 4 film crew. It seems that Ocaña has made a mistake, so that it can have such a fate. After seeing the skull, they rested for a while on the river bank. Because they didn't bring any food, Meeg slaughtered a coati to eat. This scene is quite controversial, because the film director used real animals. After seeing the controversial scene, they then continued their journey. While on the way, they saw members of the Yakumo tribe giving punishment to a woman. It seemed like the tribal woman had made a big mistake, because the punishment given was very sadistic. Monroe even wanted to stop the punishment, but he was immediately stopped by Keiko.
Don't be a fool. Come on, Professor.
After seeing this terrible punishment, they then followed the man, to find out where his tribe lived, namely the Yakumo tribe. Unfortunately, the man noticed their presence, and then just disappeared. To get him out, Keiko tells Meeg to strip naked in the river, while taking the man Yakumo with them. Not long afterward the man appeared, along with several members of his tribe. Monroe and the others were then led, to go to where the tribe lived. After arriving there, the tribesmen looked at them suspiciously. They even wanted to be chased away by several women, before being allowed to enter there. It seems that a major tragedy has occurred, involving the 4 members of the film crew. Monroe also saw an item belonging to one of the crew, which was worn around the neck of a female tribe member. The tribal chief then showed a hut that had been burned, inside which there were several human skulls. He also showed one of their members, who was injured as a result of being shot in the leg. Seeing this, Keiko began to realize that they were in great danger. To get out of that place, he told Meeg to give the chief a penknife. The chief looked happy to be given the knife, and they were all welcomed there. The next day, they continued their journey into the forest, and found several members of a tribe named Shamatari. They were burning leaves, on which there was a woman. The woman was a member of the Yamamomo tribe, who were their mortal enemies. Every day they always fight, to get human flesh. Every day there are always victims, which makes their numbers continue to decrease. The woman was then taken to the edge of the river, where there were already several other tribe members. They were molesting 3 women from the Yamamomo tribe, seen directly by Monroe and others. Not long after, several members of the Yamamomo tribe appeared who wanted to save their tribe members. Several members of the Shamatari tribe were shot by Monroe and Keiko, while helping Yamamomo to save his members. They did this on purpose, so that they would be welcomed by the tribe. However, the tribe was also looking at them suspiciously, just like the Yakumo tribe earlier. At the same time, the chief gave a watch to Monroe. It was the watch of one of the film crew, which made Monroe immediately confused. This made him even more curious, whether the 4 crew members were still alive or dead. Having no clue other than the watch, Monroe conducted a psychological experiment. He took off all his clothes, and then pretended to bathe in the river. Several women from the Yamamomo tribe appeared, who then played with Monroe. After playing, they went running somewhere. Monroe, Keiko and Meeg then followed, seeing the skulls of the 4 film crew members. Their skulls were hung together, along with their filming equipment. After seeing that, Monroe wondered what really happened to them. Why have they all died, in such a tragic way? To find out what happened, Monroe will take the crew's video recordings. After persuading the Yamamomo tribe with a tape recorder, he then managed to get the recording. He was also offered human flesh, which he was forced to eat. Monroe then left there, taking the film crew's video recordings to New York City. Together with her friend, Monroe viewed the recordings of the 4 film crews. The video begins with their departure to Rio Okoro, guided by Felipe Ocaña. Arriving there, they then entered the Amazon forest, and searched for these tribes for days. During this search, they experienced many terrible things. Starting from slaughtering turtles to eat, then killing snakes and tarantulas, and cutting off Ocaña's leg, which was bitten by a poisonous snake. Even though his legs had been cut off, Ocaña's life could not be saved. He died in the forest, because the snake poison had spread throughout his body. His body was left just like that, while the 4 film crew continued their journey. After going quite far into the forest, they arrived at the residence of the Yakumo tribe. They shot several tribesmen, causing them to run away in fear. They then put dozens of tribesmen into the hut, and then burned the hut. Fortunately, many of them managed to get out, although many were burned alive. They did this on purpose, just to manipulate the story in their video. Their behavior was very cruel, treating members of the tribe like animals. After seeing the videotape, Monroe held a meeting with several people. They were the leaders of the film crew, who intended to broadcast the footage to the public. However, Monroe immediately banned them, because the video was full of lies and inhumane. To convince the leaders, he then invited them to watch the rest of the recording. The video then continues, with the film crew looking for members of the Yamamomo tribe. After searching various places, they finally succeeded in capturing a woman from that tribe. They raped the woman in turn, which was seen by one of the tribe members. After doing that, the woman died in a very tragic way. His body was impaled by a large piece of wood, which was then stuck into the ground. In the video, they say the woman was killed by her own tribe. This is a form of punishment for women who cannot maintain their virginity. This is the most controversial scene, which resulted in this film being banned from screening in several countries.
It's unbelievable. It's horrible.
After doing this, they were surrounded by several members of the Yamamomo tribe. They were surrounded from all directions, which made them unable to escape. One by one the film crew were then killed, and their flesh was then taken to be eaten. The videotape then ends, with Alan being killed at the end of the video. After seeing the video, they decided not to show it to the public. The videotape will be burned, so that no one else can see it,